Well, good morning, and good morning from Paris. I'm walking along the Monmouth Brecon Canal. I've parked my car today in the lovely village of Llangynidr, and I'm going to follow a 2-day, 1-night, relatively short backpack that's going to see me explore Llangattock Moor and Llangynidr Moor, two of my favourite moors in this particular area. I live about 40 minutes away, know the area quite well, and I do like coming up to these particular moors. My route from Llangynidr is going to follow the Monmouth Brecon Canal for a few miles now towards the town of Clo Cadno. I'm then going to pick up part of the Cambrian Way that I did in the summer last year. I'll put a link in the description below to my playlist that shows my journey along the Cambrian Way if you're interested. I'm going to go into Llangattock Quarries, but I'm going to leave the Cambrian Way and climb out of the quarries, take me up onto the moor, and then across to Llangynidr Moor. I'm going to go and visit the Chartist Cave. I'm going to go on to the northwest part of Llangynidr Moor, pick up some water at one of the springs there that I know, and probably put my tent down somewhere near Clo Cadno. Tomorrow I'm going to leave Llangynidr Moor, climb up over Tor y Foel, and then follow the Usk Valley Way back into the village of Llangynidr. So, as I said, a short walk, short backpack. It's a cold day today. It's cloudy. It's about 7 degrees, but it feels a lot colder. It's going to be a relatively cloudy night, but cold. But we'll get colder towards dawn because the sky is going to clear, and tomorrow is going to be a beautifully sunny day. So, let's see what happens. Right, so I've left the canal now at Bridge 112, and it's now time to start heading up the hill towards Llangattock Quarries. This is an interesting house which I've walked past a few times on your way up to Llangattock Quarries. It's been set aside completely for bats, bat roosting site, so no one's allowed in. It's protected under law, and it's a haven for, I imagine, some very rare bats. So, yeah, very good. So I'm now walking on the old tram track that leads into the Llangattock Quarries, which were used to provide limestone to the ironworks not far away at Llangynidr and Brinore Tramroad, and the Vale area at the heads of the valleys. Really is an incredible landscape, the Llangattock Quarries. It's now a nature reserve. It's limestone quarries, and there are very rare plants here. Peregrine falcons thrive in this area as well, and there are underground caves as well. And there's a group of kids ahead of me all wearing red coats, who are here with an outward bound group, and they're being taken into some of the easy caves. But there are some extensive caves that go well under this moor, where you need diving equipment with oxygen tanks in order to be able to explore. I'm currently on the Cambrian Way, but I did say in my video when I did the Cambrian Way that I was going to, could have used a different path, and I'm going to use that different path today. It would be nice if the Cambrian Way used it, but I guess they can't because it's rather exposed as you leave the quarry area, as you'll see in due course. now on the edge of Llangattock Moor. I've come round the corner, so I'm now heading west. And ahead of me is Llangynidr Moor. Beyond that, the rounded hump is Tor y Foel, and beyond that, the Central Beacons Range. Although you can't see Penarvan and Corndy from this angle. I'm above the mountain road that the Cambrian Way follows, so I'm cutting off a fair bit of road walking, and I shall follow this path as it gently descends, eventually meeting said road. I really love this moor. I know a lot of people are not so keen on it, but I love its solitude. I love its bleakness, and on a perfect summer's day with blue skies and fluffy white clouds, there's nowhere better. But it can also be moody, and I've seen that in the winter under dark clouds, and I've got that a little bit today really. It's a little bit overcast and not quite as welcoming as perhaps it might be under normal circumstances. But it's such a historic moor as well. You know, who would have thought that this moor has played a part in democracy and voting for all people in the United Kingdom, and it does, because it was on this moor that the Chartist movement hid their weapons in a cave, which they then used to march on the city of Newport to take on the government and demand equal rights for men with regards to voting. Yeah, it's not the way to do it, of course, but if you push them into a corner and no one's listening to you, that's what often happens. And that's certainly what happened in the United Kingdom when people were fighting for their rights to vote. So I'm going to be heading towards the Chartist Cave shortly. Then I'm going to go on and find some water, and then I put my tent down. It's quite early, but there's no one around. It's out of the wind, it's quite pleasant. So yeah, shall enjoy the views around me. Well, I'm all set up. I'm in the wind here, but on the ground it's more or less out of the wind. That's okay. I'm on Llangynidr Moor near Clo Cadno, and I got great views towards Penarvan, Corndy and the rest of the range, so quite happy with this. I've got it set up so I can sit in my tent and look at that view. So get the tent set up and get dinner on. All set up, quite happy. Wind's behind me and I'm quite warm here with the tent acting as a windbreak. I've got my meth stove on and water boiling to make a fresh cup of coffee. Really like this filter I've got, mesh filter. You put the fresh coffee in the top, put your water in, drains through into your cup. A simple invention, works really well. I was going to do a review of my Terra Nova tent this evening, but I've decided against it. It's just a little bit too chilly, and I've got a fair bit I want to say, so it'd probably take a little bit of time to do. But I've had this tent now for a couple of years, and this is my 81st night in the tent, so yeah, I think I know the tent pretty well. I know what I like about it, I know what I'm not so keen on, I know where it could be improved a little bit. I don't do many reviews, it's not me really, but yeah, I think I've got something to say on this, so look out for a video on the Terra Nova Laser Compact 2, which I will do in the next couple of weeks, and talk about my thoughts on this tent. But for the moment, get dinner on the go, enjoy the lovely views I've got of the Central Beacons, and just enjoy the peace and quiet. Just on this issue of with the kicked out things. So dinner tonight is savoury rice, beef flavoured, with a tin of mackerel in tomato sauce, so plenty of protein there as well. That's been cooking on the mess stove for about 15 minutes or so, and now it's ready to go. Kettle's just come as the boil now for my last brew this evening. The sun would appear to have gone down. There has been a bit of colour in the sky where the sun is lighting up the cloud, but I'm not going to get a sunset as I would have liked to have had. It's going to be a cloudy evening, cloudy night until about 5 o'clock, and then the clouds are going to clear and it's going to be a dry, sunny day tomorrow. It's going to be cold though overnight, so I'm going to have a lazy lie-in tomorrow. I hope to have the sun on the tent before I leave, in order that I can warm up a little bit before I head off. I did 15.5 miles today, as I said. It's going to be a much shorter day tomorrow. I leave here back down to where I got the water from, and then I'm going to head around towards Tor y Foel, and then once I've climbed Tor y Foel, descend down to Llangynidr. So it's a short walk tomorrow, but I enjoyed today, really enjoyed it. Know these hills like the back of my hand really, but it's always nice to come up and see them and do something different, you know, get the tent out middle of March and just be alone really, and just enjoy a bit of tent time. And yeah, it's just nice, isn't it? So that's it for the evening. I think I have a hot chocolate now, as I say, and go into bed and listen to a podcast or so, and then get ready for tomorrow. Well, good morning. That was a cold one last night. The sun has risen. It's not on me yet, and the sky has, as predicted, cleared, and I think that's what made it cold. Snug under my quilt here, inside my bivvy bag, but my goodness me, every time I stuck my head out, I got straight back in again. Got my kettle on here, on my stove on, have a morning brew, have some porridge and granola, and then I am not gonna get going until the sun hits this tent and warms it up a little bit. So but a lovely day ahead for sure. Well, it's definitely a cold one last night, got ice on the tent, but what a great view. Looking over there towards Cefn the Travel Quarries, and then coming right round past my shadow, and then above my shadow you can see Penavon and Corndee coming round to Altloyd. And we're off. Lovely sunny day, but blimey it's cold. I was well protected in my tent from this bracing easterly wind, so I've got a lot of clothes on at the moment. Won't be long before I'll be stripping off, I guess. Anyway, leaving Mynydd Llangattock now, going to head over towards Trevel and then pick up the Brinore Tramway and follow that round towards Tor y Foel. I wonder how many people walk past this when they're doing the Cambrian Way. This little plaque, excuse my shadow, try and do it like that. It's a plaque to the creator of our wonderful National Health Service, Tor y Foel. And the reason the plaque is here is because this is the northerly tip of his Tredegar constituency near Trevel, and he and his wife Jenny Lee, their ashes are spread up here. So a lovely little plaque, but it's quite small, so I do wonder how many times people actually stop and look at it. Anyway, on we go. So I'm now on the Brinore Tramway, which was active in the 19th century, and it connects Rumney and Trevel Quarry with the Monmouth Brecon Canal at Talybont. Very important in its time, used to primarily transport coal, which would then be taken on to communities within Mid Wales, but also took limestone from the quarry here, which was then used to help agriculture in Mid Wales. What I particularly like about this tramway, and I don't walk it that often, is how it contours around the Dyffryn Cronan Valley, which is the valley below me on my right now. Very steeply sided valley. Provides fantastic views towards the Black Mountains, and I'm going to enjoy this today. Okay, well I'm now leaving the summit of Tor y Foel, following the easterly path into the teeth of this very strong wind. Cold as well. But what views I've got from here today. The climb up to Tor y Foel was not difficult. There are a couple of false summits as you come up from the south, but you're soon on the top and you get great expansive views over the central beacons and also towards the Black Mountains, which is where I'm walking towards now. The rest of my video, I hope you can hear me above this wind, will be of scenic shots as I pick up the Usk Valley Walk, descend to the Monmouth Brecon Canal and follow it then back to the village of Llangynidr. As with all my videos, thank you very much indeed for watching it if you've got this far. I have got some plans for some backpacking trips coming up, so I will be making some more videos. But as with all my videos, thanks ever so much for watching.